Hey guys, good morning and welcome to this week's Facebook Live event. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope you had a beautiful Women's Day yesterday. Here in South Africa it was Women's Day. We celebrated the incredible women around our beautiful country. Appreciate you spending the time with us. We got uncovering some awesome topics within the MLM space this week. This theme that we're going to be speaking about this week is that of enthusiasm and playing the hand that we are dealt and uncovering the I.A.S. It's quite cryptic, I know, but we're going to get into all of that stuff now. Here sitting with me is Mr. Richard Sletcher. Richard?
Hey,
keeping
nice
well?
To see you. Yeah, no problems.
Lovely stuff. Hope you treated your wife yesterday.
Oh, like you won't believe.
Oh, you know, I knew you would do that. Good. Thank you for doing that. Okay, now you're giving me you're making my job harder because I have to live up to this standard.
Right, exactly.
You know, hot air balloons in Tuscany and, you know.
What can I say?
I know. Have you seen our backdrop?
I know, hey? How cool is this?
Not bad.
Yeah, so this is for one of our clients.
One of our clients, Enthus, in the travel industry, in the MLM space. I mean, this travel industry is $1 trillion industry, and these guys are just disrupting. They're re-evolutionizing the whole travel industry and how we see it and how we're playing out. I mean, they're going to launch their business in a month's time from now.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be epic.
Epic, yeah.
I'm so excited to see what they're going to do.
Yeah. And so, of course, they're coming in to do their videos in our studio, so that's why that's up there.
Yeah. And I think it looks great. I think they've done such a great job designing it. I mean, it's just magnificent. So they've done a great job.
I like the flash at the top.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all celebration. Travel, celebration. You know, in the times that we find ourselves now, traveling is an ultimate luxury.
Yeah.
Because we can't do it.
Yeah.
But when things go back to the normal.
So you're going to sign up with these guys?
I'm going to sign up with these guys. I'm so excited.
Here.
I feel like I'm punting these guys now. But so that's why we have this backdrop. And each time we have one of our clients coming to shoot, obviously, as you know, we put their beautiful backdrops up. So they've done a good job.
You can see this is the reason why in the contracts with all of the team that you're not allowed to sign up with any of our clients.
Exactly.
This is the reason for it, because I can just see what's going to happen. You go and sign up with them, you make such a lot of money, that'll be it. I'll never see you again.
I'm not going to do it. I won't do it. Yeah, we've got our contract locked in. Okay, Richard, we've got an awesome topic to get through to today. Caleb, can we get this up and running? Beautiful. Thank you very much. I hope that everyone watching can see the screen. Today we're going to be covering this topic, and we launch into this by going into enthusiasm. So, what is enthusiasm? All right.
So, well, the whole issue around this, and this is actually a talk that I've done. I've got a whole talk on enthusiasm that I do to network marketers. But this is actually as important, if not more important, for the owners of the company. So I decided that it would be a good theme for today, because the owners of the company need to be aware of this side of the business, because at the end of the day, if they can't do it, how can they expect their people to do it?
Sure. Yeah.
So what we got here is the last 4 letters. There's a whole talk about being enthusiastic and neat and on time and doing a hot demonstration, uncomplicated demonstration. So it's an what do you call it when you're using the letters? Not a euphemism? Not a euphemism. That's
we were close.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. So the last 4 letters stand for I am sold myself.
Yes.
And so when I was thinking about it, and we've got a number of clients that, you know, this applies to, and so I thought, well, this would be a good place for us to actually talk about it. And the reason that I sort of thought this was a good topic is because we've lost a couple of clients recently, and the reason we've lost them is because they actually don't believe in the multi-level marketing environment.
Yeah. And
I'll give you an example. One of our clients came to us, and the first thing out of their mouth is that we want to get into multi-level marketing. We want to use MLM as a route to market, but we don't want to call it MLM. We don't want to brand it as MLM. We want to use the term
direct
affiliate
selling
affiliate and brand ambassadors and this kind of stuff. And the first thing is that I know, the second they say that, I know they don't believe in the industry.
Yeah.
Now, why don't they believe it? They don't believe it because they don't know about it. They don't believe it because they haven't actually spent the time immersing themselves in the industry. they don't like it, or they're concerned about it because they've heard somebody say something bad about it, or they've seen some scam artist on TV who's been put in jail because they're doing something scammy.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that I say to our clients is, listen, if you are not already sold on this, you either have to go and get yourself educated and get sold on it, or go and do something else. You know, instead of sinking your time and money into something you don't believe in, and you've got to believe in this heart and soul, because it's not an easy business, this. It's extremely lucrative business, one of the most lucrative I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's an extremely simple business, because it's like, it's a simple business to do. It's not, you know, sign up 5 people who sign up 5 people who sign up. Simple. But it's not easy.
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to go into why it's not easy. It's not an easy business. And if you are not heart and soul locked in, if you are not sold on this industry yourself,
Yeah.
what are your chances of succeeding? 0 to nothing.
Yeah.
So what happens is a company comes to us. We put together a compensation plan for them. We put together, we help them with their product presentations. They then go and present this to people. Now, because they're not completely locked into the concept, they're not sold on it themselves, they find some dude or dudette who's been a member of some other MLM company, and they will then say to them, oh, but, oh, man, you need to demonstrate your product this way or that way or the next way, or you need to have this other product. You've got these 5 and fantastic products, but if you had this product, then everything would be better. Or your compensation plan, man, let me show you a compensation plan that actually works. And then they go and show you some other company's compensation plan, which they've been a member of. It's the only compensation plan they know. But the problem is, because the owner of the company doesn't understand or isn't locked into their own systems and not fully believing or understanding their systems, they then start backing off. Oh, okay, let me focus on making this other product. And they then go running after this other product. Let me change the compensation plan this way or that way. Oh, we can't charge for a starter kit. Okay, let me take the cost of a starter kit away. Now, we had a client like this. I'm not going to mention their names, obviously. But when he started with us, he was already resistant to multi-level marketing. He then got introduced to this lady who was an expert at multi-level marketing. Yeah. She'd watched 3 videos and joined 1 company. And so she was now an expert, and she ripped their comp plan to shreds because it wasn't the same as her other comp plan. And she ripped their product to shreds because it wasn't the same as her other product. And she ripped the way the starter packs worked and how much money it cost, everything. And what happened is that they kept on changing everything. Their belief system was undermined completely. And because they weren't 100% sold themselves on what they were doing, she literally talked them right out of multi-level marketing. They're gone. They ditched the system. They ditched multi-level marketing. In actual fact, the guy's gone back to a job. He's now he went out and found himself a job, and he's now working for someone. Now, the issue, what happened to this lady? She's gone off and she's joined some other company. She's now disrupting that company. And so I know of 2 companies that this lady's disrupted. And so you've got to be very careful that when I say you've got to be sold yourself, you've got to be 100% sold yourself.
Yeah. I mean, going out to the network and asking them for their opinion on how you should play out the various elements of your business, and that is a crucial mistake. You should be 100% sold on how your compensation plan runs, what your product looks like, what are the benefits. You can't go out into the network, right, and just start asking these guys for advice.
Well, the thing is that if I say to you, please give me your advice, what is the key message I'm sending to you?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So as soon as I say to you, please tell me how it should be done, the message that you're getting is, I don't know what I'm talking about. Now you're asking someone who's got 0 idea of how this should be done, not an expert in the space, who's maybe joined one other company, doesn't know what the impact of their comp plan is, how it works, what it does, how it would impact your business. Now they're giving you advice. How can you take advice from them? That's the wrong people to take advice. I say to my clients, look, when you sign up as a founding member, okay, what I want from you is not to tell me how to run my business, but I want you to make sure that the processes we put in place work. So the first 2 months, we say to you, look, there's going to be problems because of new systems, new business, new everything. And we need to iron those problems out. There'll be system issues. There'll be delivery issues, all sorts of things. And The reason you are getting in early and that you're getting a special leg up is because you're going to help me sort these problems out.
Right.
So when you place an order, did you get your thank you for your order message? Did the product get delivered to you? Were you able to access the staff via ticketing system if there was a problem? You know, did the product arrive in one piece or was it broken? You know, are your commissions showing up on the systems? These are things you want your people to tell you about. That's what they're working with you about. You don't want to discuss whether you should be charging for your starter kit.
Sure.
I mean, what are they going to say? No, give me the starter kit free. Obviously, they're going to say it. And if they are saying that, they don't believe in the value of it. And if they don't believe in the value, it's because you don't believe in the value and you haven't sold that value onto them. So this client I was talking to you about, he now said, okay, he's not going to charge you for a starter kit. So he does away with that income stream. Then he's going to give the product away for the first month or 2 months or 3 months free. Now, where's his money? Now, why is he doing this? He's doing this because some lady who hasn't got the skill to sell his product is not selling it and trying to give it away free and just undermining everything he's doing.
Yeah.
So going back, first step, I am sold myself. You have got to be sold yourself. And I mean, I'm just waffling on here, but the key thing, in my opinion, is that to be sold yourself, you've got to understand it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
In depth.
Well, that's it. Understand multi-level marketing industry. Be comfortable with working within the space. Adopt it 100%. And then know that you have the authority to speak on the compensation plan, your products, and all the other elements of your business. You can't go to the network and start asking them for support and feedback and opinions. Everyone's got their opinions. Set your own and move forward with it.
Well, what they say, everyone's got an opinion, and opinions are like everyone's got one, and all of them stink. so sorry about that.
We need to get that little beep thing. You know?
Yes, okay. Well, when we put it onto YouTube, we'll beep that out.
Okay, cool. I like that.
So the issue is, okay, let's start with multi-level marketing.
Yes.
Okay, if you are not prepared to put your name solidly behind multi-level marketing, there's only one reason for that, and that's that you don't understand the industry. If you're feeling resistant to that, it's because you don't understand the industry. You're thinking, people are going to look at me sideways. I mean, I had that same experience, I had that same exact experience 21 years ago when we decided to start NetReady. And I told my sister-in-law that we are starting this company that does MLM. We got into such a row about it that she stormed off. She couldn't even talk to me or look at me. She was so angry that we were going to get involved in this unethical business. A few years later, there was a big article in Time magazine about how MLM is changing the world and it's like such a powerful route to market. Then suddenly she came to me and apologized for her attitude because she'd now read it in Time magazine. Now she believed it.
Yeah.
So what was the problem? Was the MLM the problem? No, the problem was her ignorance.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she's stupid, she's a clever girl, but she was ignorant about multi-level marketing.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Until you learn it by doing the research and understanding, and then you can form your opinion. And unfortunately, that's ignorance. Ignorance is not having enough information to make the right decision.
Now, if I wasn't committed, if I wasn't 100% sure of myself in that space, I might have doubted myself.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, her reaction was so visceral, I might have actually said, whoa, in actual fact, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. And I might have just dipped out of the industry completely. So step number one, before telling her, I was 100% sure about multi-level marketing as a route to market. I'd researched the industry. I'd had a look at what big companies were doing. I knew which companies were involved in it. I'd had a look at Amway and Avon and Tupperware and these big companies that are doing billions of dollars in turnover, and saw what they were doing. And I was 100% sure that multi-level marketing was an ethical way to do business. That as long as you yourself were not getting involved in something unethical in terms of selling products that were not good value for money, etc., that this was an absolute ethical way to go. So when she had a flip out, that was her problem. It didn't in any way impact my belief system. But it couldn't, because I was rock solid. I knew what I knew the business. I knew the industry. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think clients that clients of ours that come in and say, I'm not calling ourselves a multi-level marketing business, we're an affiliate program, we are this, we're that, aren't 100% rock solid with the fact that they have a multi-level marketing business.
Well, the problem is that they don't want to associate themselves with MLM. And that's because they don't believe in it. And if they don't believe in it, they need to do something else. They shouldn't be doing this if they don't believe in it. So that's the issue, is that they don't believe in it themselves. Now, if they're saying that they're wanting to, the other reason they could be saying they want to call it an affiliate program is because they know what they're doing is illegal or unethical. They've got a product that's not worth what they're asking for it, etc. So in my opinion is that first and foremost, you've got to own the space. If you're going to get into multi-level marketing, then you have to own it. This is what we do. And if you can't own it, because just think about it. If I say to you, this is an affiliate program, and then you find out it's actually a multi-level marketing program, what is your opinion of me?
No, you haven't disclosed all the information, and I'm untrusting of you.
And where's my integrity? Because I remember getting invited years ago to a meeting. And I said to the guy, well, what is this about? Is this multi-level marketing? No, it's not. And then I get there, and it is multi-level marketing.
Yes.
And I said to him, but I ask you this question. He said, yeah, but if I'd said something to you, you wouldn't have come. I said, well, where do you think that leaves us now? I can't trust what's coming out of your mouth. You're lying to me.
Yeah.
So I say to people, own it. When we had Acorn Kids, the two things we owned 100% was the product. We led with the product all the time, because I believe if you don't have a compelling product, you don't have a business. And the second thing is that this is a direct selling company. We use multi-level marketing as a strategy to get the product to market. And I would like to tell you how you could earn money, become a full-time mom with a part-time business through Acorn Kids. And that was a straight upfront, I owned it. I believed in it. I knew people would change their lives if they got involved in it. I wanted to tell them about it. I was just straight up with them. Now, if the person had a problem with multi-level marketing for whatever reason, then they'd walk. That's fine. But if they stayed, there'd been a completely honest discussion right the way through the process. Nobody had lied to them. And no, this is an affiliate program. This is this.
Yeah.
Guys, own the blimmin' business. Own it. Otherwise, do something else.
Yeah. And the chances are you would have signed up for this company if you understood.
No, the reason I wouldn't have signed up is that I mean, obviously we're in the MLM space, and I can't go signing up with these companies.
Sure, but this was a while ago.
No, this is right in the beginning when I'd already started. She knew that I was like running NetReady, and so she thought that she could get me involved in this other business. So anyway,
let's go back to enthusiasm. So enthusiasm stems from I am sold myself. 100% confidence in your business, in the industry itself, the product, the compensation plan, and all those elements. We have to be sold.
Now, if you're not sold and you don't believe in your product, and yet you still go out and try and sell it, what does that make you?
Con man.
Exactly. People who sell something they don't believe in, con artists.
Yeah.
That's it. So you have to believe in it to sell it. And you cannot be enthusiastic about something that you don't believe in. You know, you can be super enthusiastic about something you believe in. But if you don't believe in it, it's difficult. And people have got a BS sensor like no tomorrow. If they feel you BSing them, they're gone. Yeah.
People aren't stupid.
No.
When they join, they could be oblivious, but they'll soon understand, and then they'll be gone.
Yeah.
And you wasted that time.
Exactly.
And does enthusiasm stem from things like just the knowledge and the training that you receive? Now I'm talking about maybe from a network member's perspective. To be enthusiastic about the business, you need to be trained, understand the business, understand the comp plan, the product, to go, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. Understand the story, understand the comp plan, how to earn, understand the product and the benefits that it has for my customers. I can now become enthusiastic about this company.
Well, exactly. The problem that the owner has is exactly the problem that his people have. And so if he's resistant, they'll be resistant. If he doesn't own it, they won't own it. If he's not enthusiastic, how can he expect them to be enthusiastic? If he doesn't know his product backwards and forwards, how can he expect them to know it? And so the exact problems that he has, he's got to overcome in them. So he's first got to overcome it, or she's first got to overcome it themselves. Once they've overcome it themselves, they can then get their their team properly trained up. Because you have to talk with conviction to your people. There's got to be an absolute conviction. When you talk about your product, you've got to be convicted. You've got to be sold yourself. You've got to be totally convicted that this is the best product on the planet.
Yeah.
Or this compensation plan. If the person asks you a question about the comp plan, you've got to be able to answer it coherently, easily. And that only comes from deep understanding. You know, why is this compensation plan better than anyone else? Well, you need to have an answer for that. You know, why shouldn't I be using that compensation plan? Why do I have to pay for my starter kit? Well, if you don't believe they should be paying for their starter kit in the first place, how can you convince them that they should start paying for their starter kit?
Yeah.
You know, so all of those things are part of it. I mean, a prime example is during our launch strategy, after we've launched, we have a 3-month period where each agent contributes to a marketing fund. Now, we've got a client right now who doesn't want anybody to contribute to the marketing fund. Why don't they want people to contribute? The number one reason is they don't believe in it.
Right.
They don't believe that the marketing fund is going to do anything for them or for their people, and so they kind of don't want to sell it to them. But if they stood up with absolute conviction and said, listen, if each of you, well, you have to, so it's mandatory, but what we're going to do with this is we're going to do X, Y, and Z with this money, and we're going to get this multi-million-dollar advertising campaign going, and this is the impact it's going to have on your business, and we're so excited that you're going to be part of this. If they sold it to them with absolute conviction, which stems from them believing it themselves, they would have no problems.
Sure.
But they don't believe in it. So now it becomes, we'll make it optional. And of course, what happens with optional?
Yeah,
you can optionally spend $200 or not. Let's see now, which one should you do? You know, you can still come into the business and you can please, you know, you either got to do it or you can't, or you got to own it or you don't. You got to believe in what you're doing. Otherwise, you know, don't bother.
Okay. Love that, Richard. Thank you. Let's move into this next spot. Now, we're going to get to the cards here. I don't know if we've
got our cards.
Everyone watching has seen it, but we've got our cards here, and we're going to get into that now. But let's speak about playing the hands that we're dealt. We're speaking about the types of people that we're going to approach.
Exactly.
Okay. And then the different types of people that we're going to approach, because there's a big scale, and we like to relate it to that of cards.
Yes.
Okay. The numbers in the cards plays out to the percentages of the people that we're going to be speaking to. So what do we have in our first one here is cards numbered 2 to 6.
Yeah. So the whole issue is that the issue is here, Stuart, that when you start one of these businesses as the company owner, traditionally what has happened is you've got a product of some sorts which you think, wow, this is going to be perfect for MLM as a route to market. And then you sit down with a spreadsheet, because obviously all company owners are experts at spreadsheets, and you put in 2 or 5 people, and each of them sign up 5. You got 25, then each sign up 5, 125, 256, 512, 1024, etc. It's just like you create this massive number game on a spreadsheet.
Yeah, spells good maths, by the way.
Yeah. And then what you do is you say, well, each person is going to spend $100 or $200 a month. And by the time you're finished, you're shopping for Ferraris because you think, wow, this is going to be epic. But what you miss is that, first of all, the average person in your network will only sign up 1.25 people in their lifetime. Okay? So that means the vast majority of people are not going to sign up anybody. A percentage of your people will sign up some people, and a percentage of them will be superstars and actually will build your business. Okay? So it's not 5 by 5 by 5. That's not reality. It's 1.25 per person. So that gives you an exponential curve, by the way. That's enough to make your business go vertical, but it's obviously not 5 by 5 by 5.
Yeah.
So what companies do is they do the spreadsheet thing. Now, they're not 100% locked in on the comp plan. They're not sure about their pricing. They're a bit vague. Then they go out and they start looking for people, and they discover, well, in actual fact, this is not so easy. Now, I've got this card game that I've done, and I do this talk for networks, because obviously networks, the members need to understand this as much as the company.
Yes.
So
okay, so it does apply to the network as well.
It applies to the network, but it applies more to the owner than to the network. Because network members come and go, but the owner, the owner's got to understand this, because otherwise he's going to give up. And we've seen this. The guys come in on a spreadsheet, this is easy. Then they get into the real world and it's hard, and then they give up. And so, in my opinion, that's what I've said to you on many occasions. These people have got a wishbone, but no backbone.
Sure.
Okay, so this is where the effort comes in. And I use this card this card demonstration to show people what it's like in the real world. So in the card pack, anything that's 2 to 6 would be people who say no to you. Okay, and you'll see that there's about 27% of the people who will say no to you.
Sure.
Okay,
so it's people you approach, get in the
and
business.
they're just not interested.
They're just,
I'm not interested. I tried this out. It didn't work. It's a load of rubbish, whatever. They're gone. They don't sign up, and that's fine.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Next, you've got your 7 to 10. So if you pull a 7 to 10 out of the deck, those are people who are not interested in becoming MLM, but if you do a decent job of the product presentation during your presentation, they'll become customers. And of course, every company needs customers. If you don't have customers, you don't have a business. So very valuable, but they become a customer.
Sure.
Next, you've got your Jack, your Queen, and your King. These are people who'll join your business. Now, you don't know when these people join whether they're going to be good or bad, whether they're going to wash out or become superstars. You don't know. They've joined. Okay, so that's your Jack, Queen, and King. You got them in. It's up to you now to try and train them to a point where they can reveal themselves as a winner or a loser.
Yes.
Okay?
Nice. Okay. And it's 20%.
20% of your people.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, so it's 20% of your people. And there you can see already the Pareto principle kicking in. The 80-20 principle. 20% of your people will actually join the business, 20% of the people you talk to.
Yeah.
So if you want to sign up 20 people, you've got to do an excellent presentation, both on your product and your comp plan and why they should join. You've got to do an unbelievable presentation to 100 people to get 20. You with me?
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, so that's not so easy because, if you don't get them in the first 80 people, you're starting to think, well, this might not work. Okay, but you could then sign up 10 people in a row. You don't know.
Yeah. And that could be scary. That's very scary for someone launching into this industry, launching a company.
Exactly.
I'm speaking to 80 people and not one of them has converted to become a network member.
Yes, exactly. Well, we did in one of our previous presentations, I showed you how slow Acorn Kids took off. Now, what I didn't discuss there is in order to get that growth, how many people I spoke to. Man, I was working my backside off. I was speaking to people every day from 7, 8 in the morning until 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So I was working like a huge day, every day, going out, showing the products, talking to people about the opportunity, taking them out on presentations. It's hard. Simple, but hard.
Yeah.
Okay, next we've got our ACEs. Now, these are the guys, you can see there's only 7% of the people. So 7 in 100 are potentially ACEs.
Wow.
So they're like a very small sliver.
Very small.
Okay. And these are the guys who'll set the business on fire. They're the guys who just make it happen. They do all the training. They believe in the system. They believe in the product. They go out there. They sign up people. And when you get those people, you think you've won the jackpot. Okay. And like some people are fortunate. They'll find an ace right out of the gates. And other people will go through the entire deck and not find an ace until right at the end. All 4 aces sitting, cards 50 to 51 to 54. That's that's just the way it goes. Luck of the draw.
Yeah. I love the story you told me about when you were working at Rambo selling vacuum cleaners, and how one of the guys that came into the business, he was a taxi driver, right?
Yeah. So yes. So he had a taxi driver staying in a very poor area with his whole family. So there was 19 of them in this little house. I don't know how many there were. I'm exaggerating, but there was a pile of people in this little house, and he drove a taxi for a living. And when I first met him, I thought there's no ways that this guy can sell an $800 vacuum cleaner. I mean, the vacuum cleaners were expensive, but I learned that you can't judge a book by its cover, and you have no idea who's going to be successful. Right. People who I thought were going to kill this thing didn't. People who thought that I were going to fail dismally killed it. So you never know. Anyway, I signed this guy up, and within a couple of weeks, I couldn't believe it. This guy was just bringing in sales left, right, and center. I showed him how to demo this machine. He was not very good at it, but he was just making sales. He was killing it. And he eventually won a trip with me to Disney World. We went to Disney World together. And so Here's this taxi driver living in a complete poor area, selling an $800 vacuum cleaner. He'd rock up in his taxi to go and demonstrate the vacuum cleaner. And so how did you know? I couldn't judge that.
Yeah.
So your aces, you don't know. They kind of put their hand up. You know,
yes.
you're going to sign up the people, and you won't know until they get going that they're aces. Now, you mentioned this earlier on. You were saying something about finding aces within other environments.
Yes. So one of the areas in which we would look for our people. So the hardest thing is our barrier to entry with something like multi-level marketing. So what a lot of successful company owners as well as head of networks will look to do is go and approach other MLMers within other businesses looking at the same products. And what I mean by that is, let's say you've gone out and you've just purchased a car, okay? But I want to sell you another car.
Okay,
Now,
so maybe I didn't just purchase it. Maybe I've had my car
you've
for
had it for a bit.
Because you're not going to sell me another
Straight
car if
away.
I just purchased one.
You've just been through this and this. And the barrier to entry is that I'm not convincing you that MLM is the right route to market for you anymore. You know MLM. And if I relate it to that of the cars, you know the car. You know how it works. You know how to drive the car. You know the prices of cars, and you understand it. Now, for something like MLM, is that you understand quite a complicated industry and getting involved. I'm not trying to educate you on how this company works or how this industry works. It is a far easier route to market to go and approach someone that would like to join.
Already understands the industry.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially somebody who's had some form of success. Because, that analogy of the car is actually a good one, because if the big thing is I've got a driver's license. That's a huge barrier to entry. I understand how to drive the vehicle, and then I understand how the vehicle works.
Yes.
And maybe I like this specific model of vehicle. And so you're just upgrading me to a better model maybe, or a different model. It's faster, it's newer, it's whatever. And so getting me in there, getting me to buy that vehicle or getting me to this new MLM company is not such a difficult thing, because I'm already sold on the industry. And probably, if you're in the health and wellness game, approaching somebody in the health and wellness game who understands MLM, it's quite an easy transition for them.
Right, exactly. And if we look at our people who say no, our conversions on that may be a lot higher if we're approaching the right people. So not only do we have to present the opportunity in the most unbelievable way possible, but we also have to choose the people that we're going out to talk to, so that we don't get, the 2s to 6s who say no.
Exactly.
And rather, let's go out, put your right foot forward and go out for the jacks, the queens, the kings.
Yeah, and we talk about this with our launch strategies. We say to the guys, listen, part of your influences, when our number one thing is we go approach influencers.
Right.
One of the big influencers out there are people who have big networks. I mean, that's a prime example of a key influencer, when you can go to those people and say, look, you have got huge influence within the space, and this is how we can make this thing work for you.
Yeah. And if you have a good understanding of network marketing, well, you're the perfect person to be our influencer.
Exactly.
The Jack, Queen, King stage, we're looking at here, it's 20%. Now, of that, do aces emerge?
So what happens is you don't know who your aces are. Even if you try and recruit somebody who you think will kill it, they might not. What happens over time, if you've got a proper compensation plan, those people rise up.
Right.
And they identify themselves. They actually identify themselves as leaders and identify themselves as the people who you need to be really focused on. But there's another card that's up there. I don't want to talk about it.
This is not our favorite card.
Yeah. So every deck of cards has got the Joker.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the Joker just now, the person who's an expert at everything MLM and who's just absolutely going to scuttle your business, undermine your belief systems, undermine the people around them, introduce those people to somebody else's network. You've got those jokers out there, and there are just loads of them. Well, in actual fact, every deck only has 2, but they seem to get around everywhere.
How do they do it?
I don't know. They're just highly mobile.
Yes.
So the bottom line here with the jokers is that, like any joker, you just laugh them off. You can't afford to take them seriously. You can't afford to let them undermine your business. So when you get one, they're going to tell you MLM sucks or doesn't work, or they tried it out, they joined these 3 companies and was a total dismal failure. They've done X, Y, and Z, and it never worked. And, you got to think to yourself, well, there's a common denominator
Right,
here.
yeah.
Didn't work for you because
Yeah.
you're the common denominator, and you've got to just laugh them off. You can't let them undermine you at all.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them out there. And as I said, we saw one who came into a client's business because he was not sold himself. She literally talked him right out of the industry. He's lost his business and she's moved on to go and disrupt somebody else's company.
Sure.
And that's it. He's gone. That's end of story. He's working. He's got himself a job. He's done.
Wow.
Which is a shame.
Yeah. So it's easy to identify the jokers, and we need to just laugh them off.
So now this is an exercise I actually do with the network marketers.
Yeah.
So we're
Love
going to
this
do it
game.
together. Can we do this
Let's
together?
do it. Yeah.
Okay. So the idea is you get a deck of cards and you sit up with your team and you say, okay, guys, let's see how this works. And the idea is you're trying to highlight the fact that your team is going to have the same problems as you have. If they want to sign up some 4 aces, there's only 4 in the decks. They're going to have to go through 54 cards to find all 4 aces. You're not going to find 4 aces going through 52 of the cards. You might, but it's not likely. So
Is it then a numbers game?
it's a numbers game, of course.
How well you can present the opportunity, and how many people you can then speak to.
So the things that are in your control are the first one is how good is your presentation? How convincing, how compelling is your argument?
Yeah.
Because you're standing up in front of that person. I'm sitting down with you. I'm standing in front of an audience. How compelling is my argument? Okay, and that comes from absolute conviction because you know your subject matter. Okay, so how compelling am I? The second thing you can control is how many people you talk to. Those are the only two things you can control. You can't control whether they join. You can't control whether they're good. You can encourage them to be good. You can encourage them to be joining. But at the end of the day, they do what they do.
Right.
So you do what is in your control, and then you just let the cards fall as they may. You play the hand you dealt.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look at the hand you dealt.
Okay.
So the first person, I think that's a card. Can I put that in there? That's a
okay,
number?
so number 6, they've said no.
Said
Gaps,
no.
you approached one, said no.
Now, this is the first thing. Somebody approaches somebody, they say no, they give them a hard time or whatever, and they're out the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is difficult.
Yeah.
I spoke to everyone I knew, and nobody joined. Well, don't tell me you only knew one person.
And you immediately discouraged there.
Yeah.
You go, oh, do I have the right comp plan? Do I have the right product?
Exactly.
Am I
Why
in the
did
right
they say
industry?
no?
Why did they say it?
Exactly.
You start doubting yourself,
Exactly.
but you get the next
What's
one.
this one?
9. Okay.
9.
They didn't join. However, they've become a customer.
Now, how did they become a customer? The reason they become a customer is because your product demonstration was so powerful that when you closed them, you could say, look, you could use an alternate choice code. Would you like to just be a customer, or would you like to join me in the business? We're going to go make some money together.
Sure.
There's an alternate choice close. Now, this guy here, this number 6, said, no, I don't want to be either. This person here said, look, I don't want to be an IBO. I don't want to be a network marketer, but yes, your product looks excellent. I'm going to try it out. They become a customer. So when you're in that presentation, the 2 things you can get out of that presentation is either a customer or an IBO. And so a 9, you got a customer. That's nice. This is
3.
3.
Yeah.
What happened?
Not good. Said
Said
no.
no. So now we've gone and seen 3 people. 2 have said no, 1's become a customer who don't have a single IBO yet. How depressing is that?
Oh, very tough.
This one?
It's a 2. Said no again.
Said no
Seen
again.
4 people.
Seen 4 people, 3 no's, 1 customer. No IBOs.
Yeah. At this point, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good at all.
Yeah.
What's this?
10.
10. So they are?
A customer.
So how many IBOs we have?
We have none.
No IBOs yet. Okay.
4.
4. What did they just say?
Yeah, they've just said nope.
No. So do you see how this is working?
Yeah.
If you're a normal IBO now and you're not expecting something a bit more, you haven't signed up a single person yet. You've got a couple of people buying, 3 people, 2 people buying your products, not one single IBO. And at this point, the people get discouraged to the point that they're out of business. Now, as the company owner, you have to go through this pain to understand what it's like. Because if you don't understand what it's like, how do you get your people to understand it?
Sure.
So,
And also, sorry, before you go into the next one, is that what you're trying to do here is refine the pitch, refine the presenting the opportunity to these guys. And no, could have turned into a customer very easily if you presented the product in the right manner.
Exactly. And if you ask the right closing questions,
Right.
you know, you're going to become a customer or you're going to become an IBO or both.
Yes.
You know, you can give them an alternate choice close and then you keep quiet and let them make a decision. So what was this one?
It's a jack. We've done it.
We finally signed somebody up. Now, we don't know if this guy's good or not.
Yeah.
So this person could be excellent or could be useless. We don't know, but they've signed up. So we're 6 or 7 presentations in. We've now only found our first first IBO. Okay, and then
we celebrate. And now we've got a joke.
So we've gone through 8 presentations, whatever the number is there.
Yeah.
We've signed up 1 IBO. It's been extremely difficult. We've got a couple of customers who bought some product from us. And now we get this guy who spends all of his time or her time telling us what a terrible idea this is and how it doesn't work and how it's a scam and undermining everything we're doing. Now, if you as a company owner are not ready for this, you're going to be out the business. But just remember that every one of your IBOs are going to be faced with this. Every single family has at least one joker. Some families, I won't mention mine, have several. So,
yes.
Then, what's this?
A king.
A king.
Okay, we're getting somewhere.
So now, after the joker, who could potentially demoralize us, we sign up somebody else. Now, you notice that we are a bunch of cards in here. I don't know how I'll count them now, but we're a bunch of cards in here. Have we got any aces yet?
No, not yet. No.
Now, we're working our guts out. We're seeing a lot of people. We're doing an epic presentation. We understand our product. We understand our compensation plan. We're working extremely hard. We've only got 2 IBOs.
So I think we've done about 10 cards there, and we've got 2 IBOs. The Pareto rule.
Okay, 20.
There we go.
Yeah.
7.
7,
Okay.
customer.
Yeah. Okay. 8, customer.
Customer, sorry.
6, said no.
Said no.
Yeah. 10, customer.
Okay, so let's just see where we're at here. So, I mean, we can reshuffle these cards, and this is something that the guys can do at home. People can go home at home and get a deck of cards and do this, and it's an excellent exercise to do in training with your network. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've spoken to 13 people. We've got 1 customer, 1 no, 2 customers, 3 customers, 1 IBO, 1 joker, another IBO, no, customer, no, no, customer, no. So we've been told no by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 customers, 2 IBOs, and 1 joker. So we've done a lot of work here, and we still haven't found our ace yet.
Right.
Let's just see how long it takes us to get an ace.
Nice.
So that's a customer.
Yep. Customer.
Another customer. Another customer. IBO. You see,
Yeah.
we've got 3 IBOs. We've done a pile. Jeez.
There we go. So we just
IBO,
got,
whoa. Hey!
there we go. You see, now we're getting traction.
So, but that can happen. You can literally go and you can drop 3, 4, 5, 6 IBOs in a row
yeah.
because of whatever reason, I don't know. It's just you happen to see the right person.
Yeah.
Says no. Says no. Says no.
We still
says
haven't
no.
uncovered an
Good
ace.
grief, no. Another IBO. Still no aces in
Yeah.
our bag.
Yeah.
Is it time to give up?
Yeah. No.
No.
Of course not.
When do you give up?
Never.
You don't. Exactly. Says no. Another IBO. Another IBO. Good grief, where are the aces? Says no.
Who shuffled these things?
No. IBO.
We've done it.
We'll find our first ace. Now look how far in the deck is.
Yeah.
We're 2/3 of the way through the deck
Yeah.
before we find our first ace. Now, as I said, some people could find the ace on the first day. They could go out the blocks, find some person who's like epic, sign them up and running and think, wow, this is an easy business. Another person might go through all 54 cards and find the 4 aces right at the end. The bottom line is that you don't know who you're talking to until you've spoken to them.
Right.
And you don't know what their opinion would be until you've got their opinion. You know, so your job is to do an epic presentation, like something absolutely incredible. so that the person, you've got the best possible chance of that person saying yes, and then to search for those diamonds. And again, they put up their hand. But to be honest with you, if you go and pitch to your drug-addicted, alcoholic brother's, uncle's, son's child who's a complete loser, the chances of them becoming an ace are not high. No. You've got to pitch to really high-quality people. And if you have a look, recently we went to an Amway presentation, and what amazed me is how many doctors and lawyers and accountants and professionals are in the Amway business. Now, why are they in there? This is real simple.
Yeah.
Right now, all of those people know that their only way of making money is dollars for hours. They sell their time for money. Okay? And the reason they're all in the business is because the MLM business offers you the opportunity of leverage. So you can leverage other people's times. I can build a big team. They can all be doing a lot of work, and I can be leveraging their time to earn money. And so the professionals understand the concept of leverage, and they understand the concept of hours for dollars. And so they get involved in a company like Amway because they're wanting to set themselves financially free. So when you're looking for your aces, don't go and look in the sort of amongst your loser family. If you're looking amongst your loser family, it's because you don't believe in the business. You are talking to them because you don't believe in it. That's the only reason. If you believed heart and soul in it, you'd be talking to the top guys in your family. The people, your top people you'd be able to approach them because you believe in it. If I had a 500 SL, Mercedes-Benz, brand new, out the box, 3 kilometers on the clock, 5-year service plan, and I came to you and said, listen, I've got this car. It's going to cost you $100,000, well, let's say $1,000, like a low price, $1,000. Okay. If I don't believe that car is actually there, and you said, you're talking nonsense, I'll say, well, in actual fact, maybe I am.
Yeah.
In actual fact, I can't talk to you because you're like a doctor.
Yes.
I'm rather going to go and speak to my loser brother-in-law because he's like a loser and he might believe what I'm saying. But if you know, you've been in that car, you've sat in it, you've seen that you know that this is actually downstairs. And for $1,000, your brother-in-law can have it, or your rich uncle can have it. Would you have a problem speaking to them?
Jeez, not at all.
So do you see the power of this I am sold myself? If you believe heart and soul, then going after the ace is not a problem. If you don't believe heart and soul, then going after the aces is just embarrassing. You with me?
That's powerful, yeah.
So kind of from my perspective, the whole thing stems from I'm sold myself, and then going and doing the hard yards.
Yeah.
There's just no shortcut to it. Look for the good people, present to the good people, do an epic presentation, keep on flipping the cards.
Keep going.
Keep on going until you get the aces. And when you run out of cards, what do? Well, go and buy another deck. Exactly. Because another 4 aces in the next pack. And you can keep on doing that for the next 10 years. And the guys who succeed are not the geniuses. It's not guys with epic high IQs. 99% of this business is perspiration. 1% is inspiration.
Sure.
So you've got to, as long as you've got a good product, good compensation plan, and you can believe in it, then it's just hard work. And if you're a company owner or you're the network marketer, it's the same thing. The company owner can't do it. They will never get the network marketer to do it. So the company owner needs to be able to do it themselves. And they need to be able to believe in it. And then they can pass that knowledge and belief on to their people.
Richard, I learned so much from these sessions, and everyone watching here, I know they're learning the same. You speak with such authority on all of these aspects. Love the session that we just had now. Thank you so much for it.
No, it's a pleasure. How much time did we have? There was a shorty.
I think we did I think it was, oops. We have got 12 minutes there. Caleb, are there any comments on the Facebook account?
Okay.
Nothing. Okay.
100% up. We've left everybody speechless.
I like that. Okay, thank you so much for today.
Well, thank you very much.
I really enjoyed the session.
Awesome. Yeah.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, no, that was good.
Good. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you here. Please go follow us on Facebook, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Net Ready. We've also got a podcasting channel on Spotify, and we've got our professional pages, our LinkedIn page, Net Ready MLM Software. Please go follow our pages. We're doing some awesome stuff here, creating all this great content that is going to benefit you in your journey to establishing, launching, and growing a successful MLM business. From me, Stuart Calder, thank you so much for the time. We'll see you next week.